All right, guys, so we are coming to you. We should put the dates on these things. So today we shot our very first video in Phoenix. We're back in Las Vegas. Today is April the 5th of 2019.
Yeah.
And within the last 6 or 7 days, we decided we want to buy a boat.
Yep.
We want to buy a catamaran. We semi-priced a catamaran. They're like $1 million, which is fine. All that's well and good.
Yeah.
But today I wanted to actually get concrete on talking to the Leopard 50 is what we were looking at today. Talk to the boat broker that does the Leopard 50s. And sorry if this is a little shaky, I'm like holding the phone out.
He's holding the phone. We were on a walk and we're like, hey, we were talking about what happened today and we're like, all right, let's just sit down and video this really quick. So sorry if there's wind.
And so,
yeah, you talked to the broker.
But more importantly, what I did was, so a lot of you guys, well, some of you guys, if you've been following us or your friends or family, you know our background is real estate. And what I've always found is the mortgage brokers in real estate know exactly what's up. They know exactly what you need, and they'll kind of hold your hand to figure out how you can put together deals. So what I wanted to do was find a boat loan broker, I guess. I don't actually know what their official name is, but I talked to a girl by the name of Lee out of Florida this morning, and she let us know all kinds of information. But the way this video came about is we were talking about what I kind of learned from her today, and Law's feeling a little discouraged.
Yeah, I was like, so we had to find out how much we needed to put down on the boat. So we were hoping maybe to get the boat next spring. And so we needed to know like how much money we needed to put down on it. And so he was talking to her today, and we're gonna need 20%, which with everything that we want on the boat, and we'll do a video on, we built the boat, and there's some of the stuff that we don't know what it is yet. So we do need to find out some of that stuff, but we thought it'd be fun to walk you guys through building the boat and like what we wanted to make sure we had on the boat and kind of what the stuff was. So if you guys are ever wanting a boat, maybe you'll have some more information on what you might want to have as a must-have and what might be more of a luxury. So we'll do a video on that.
The high points that basically I got from her was, and she represents not just one bank, but a whole like slew of different places that you could get the loan through. And what I found out from her was on a boat that big, because it is an expensive boat, she said it was an expensive boat.
It was like, we didn't tell him how much, that's why I was trying to...
It was $1 million. Well, it came to 1.158.
I was trying to get to that, and then you were like, and back.
Okay, well, tell them how much it is.
You just did.
1.158 when we built it the other day.
Yeah.
So 20% down, which would be like $225,000 down. And then in addition to that, you need to have like the other thing that she said was you need to have like a reasonable amount of money in a bank account. So what they don't want you doing is like
spending your last
penny on putting the down payment on this boat and then doing it. Some other things that they kind of talked about were that they don't want it to be a full-time live aboard boat. They want you to rent it out or have it just not be a full-time live aboard boat. And interest rate. She said the interest rates do not really fluctuate that much because these are considered more of a luxury item, and the banks consider them more like they would consider like regular boat loans that people might have gotten, or RV loans or things like that, where the rates stay pretty consistent because they're more worried about the borrower, and the borrower is going to have some skin in the game than like a house, for example. So the interest rate was like just under 5%, or 5%, essentially. We'll just go with 5%. Yeah.
They wanted a debt to income ratio of no more than 40%. So no more than 40% of your monthly expenses. How do you say it? Debt to income. So your gross income, pre-tax income per month your monthly expense, your monthly expenses can't be more than 40% of what you bring in.
So, and I would imagine that might include the boat loan, but I actually didn't get clarification on that, because I would imagine that would have to take into account the boat loan, because I would imagine that would have to take into account the boat loan in that 40%.
Yeah, so your expenses,
Yeah.
have to be 40% or less than what you bring in.
Yeah, which we live relatively minimalist ever since the real estate crash, so we don't actually have
Yeah,
like a
that
ton of
wasn't like the
expenses.
biggest issue. My biggest issue or like thing was, all right, shit. Well, how are we gonna come up with like $300,000 above and beyond like our expenses that we already have in our business expenses in the next if we want to do this by next spring. So that was where I was kind of like, it's not impossible. Usually if I put my mind to something, I can make anything happen, but that just definitely seemed like a little bit of a lofty goal, while still maintaining balance and not just working ourselves to the bone like 20 hours a day like we've done in the past. We just finally gotten to a place where we have balance, and so I was just a little disappointed today, and so I'm gonna accept that. I'm going to feel it for a second, and then I'm gonna put it aside and be positive and just let the universe work.
Yeah,
It's magic.
And this is where we had kind of gotten the conversation when we were like, hey, let's shoot a video. And I guess what I'm feeling is like, I had watched a video a couple of nights ago, and the guy was talking about it. It didn't matter whether or not you were on, a little monohull boat that was 30 feet that you had bought, or whether you were a neurosurgeon on a 75-foot yacht. Like, the thing about the boating community that brings everybody together is, I think, this exact moment. Like, you all face, whether it's like the price boat we want, or it's a smaller boat, or it's a bigger boat, like, you always face this moment when, well, pride of ownership follows pride of ownership, and you gotta earn it. Like, nobody's just gonna give it to you. And so now we got some stuff, right? Like, there's no reason why we can't make that money, especially with the stuff that we have going and the things that we're bringing online business wise. There's no reason why we can't do it.
No, like I said, I firmly believe we can. It just seemed a little lofty in the time frame that I want.
And then the second thing, and we had this discussion and then promptly thought about it, is like, I watch people and I totally love it on one hand, and then on the other hand, we've talked about it. So I'm not taking away from these people because I think it's freaking awesome what they do. But like, you buy a boat and you shoestring it, and you live in that boat and you work in that boat for 2 years. And I mean, we've all watched those sailing fest, like watching those. Or we can go out and we can build our businesses and build them to a point where they're going to allow us to do this over the next year and a half, or 2 years. So I'd prefer to build the businesses than to go buy a small boat and shoestring it and
Do all the work on it.
do all of the work on it. Like we've lived in a house that we were flipping, and it wasn't like,
That was something I said I never wanted to do again.
Yeah.
Is live in a house that we were actually flipping and working on. It's a nightmare. It was great at that time in our life. Like,
right.
Don't get me wrong, it was a great experience, but it's something that I'm done with.
Yeah. So, and if we build the businesses like up to that level of income, that just provides more of what we ultimately wanted, of being able to be out on the ocean and
Still have income coming in.
coming in,
Residual.
and be able to do stuff, and not be on this shoestring budget where you're barely making it, or you have to like, am I going to be able to put gas in, or can I go ashore and have a good day with friends and drop $150 on drinks and food today? Oh, I can't do that. I don't have enough in my bank account. So
Yeah, so our next steps are to look at our businesses and see how we can 10 times what we have going on. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the next step. We're going to continue to like do research on the boat. I think maybe in June we're going to go to Florida to go actually on a levered 50. We also have like a business mastermind in Florida in June, so that's going to be exciting. But anyways, yeah, we'll still continue. We have some other video ideas to record of things that we've been doing. So we'll still be on the journey and doing things towards our goals of having a boat. So hopefully you guys will follow along if you like us. If you enjoy this, great. If not, no worries.
all right, guys, have a good night, day, morning, whatever it is, wherever you're watching.
Thanks for following.